Today I'm going to show some very basic Linux commands. Let's start with pwd. This one is going to tell us in which directory are we currently. So in this case, if you look at here, it says the desktop, so it's very simple. It's just telling us that we are in that directory. Now, we are going to use cd to navigate through different folders. So in this case, I have a folder already created and it's called practice. So I want to navigate through that folder. So I say cd practice, so that it's going to take me to the folder practice. I hit enter and there we are, practice. Inside this folder I have different files that we are going to be using to work with the different commands. So I want to know what is in this folder practice. So I am going to use the command ls. This command is going to show me what files I have or what folders I have inside this folder. So in this case I have bank, book, card, and so on. And I also have a folder. Now I want to see more detail for each file or folder. I want to see the permissions and different stuff that is going to be useful later on. So let's say that I want to see all the details for these files. In this case, I'm going to use ls/l. And then it shows me the different permissions for each file. For example, the car file has these permissions, the images files, the images folder has these permissions for everybody. So this is very useful when you want to see more details about each file. Now, let's say that we want to see only the files that start with a D. Now, in this case, it's very easy by just looking because we have few files. But there are cases in which you may have several files, and this command is going to be really useful. So we are going to use ls because that is the one that is going to list my files. And then I said I just want the ones with a D. The first word a D. So I put D, and then I'm going to use an asterisk or a star, which means that it's going to show everything that starts with a D regardless of what is after the D. So in this case, it should show diamond and dog. So let's hit enter, and yes, it says diamond and dog. Now if I wanted to show only the files that have an H extension, like in this case car and paper, I would use the asterisk first, and then I would use dot and then H. So it should show car and it should show paper. So car and paper. So this is very useful. Another thing that is very useful is, for example, whenever I want to clean the screen, I would say clear. But this is kind of a long word for some people who don't type really fast like me. So I'd rather use an alias. And an alias is written like this. And what it's going to do is create an alias. So I'm going to make I'm going to write C equals clear, meaning that I want to kind of replace clear with C. Clear is not going to go away, it's going to stay because that's a Linux command. But what it's going to do is going to replace that what the command clear does, which is cleaning the screen, with C. So from now on I can only use C and it's going to clear everything. Let's do ls to show all our files, and then let's do ls again, and then now try C and see what happens. C, and it's going to clear everything. Now let's say that I don't want to use C to clear my screen anymore. It's very easy. You just say an alias and you say C. So this is going to delete the C. It's not going to clear the screen anymore. So we hit enter, and now when I say C, it's not going to clear anything. It's going to give me a kind of an error. So that's a very useful command. Now, let's go ahead and go back to our little files here. What I want to show you now is how to copy a file. Now, let's say I want to copy dog PHP to a new file. New. Okay, let's do new dot PHP. So I should have the same contents of dog in new PHP. Now, if you say ls, it's gonna show my new created file, which is new PHP. If you were to look at the contents of the file, then you would see that they both have the same contents. Let's say that I want to create a folder. So if you notice right now, we have, well, let's clear this screen. Okay, now let's see. We have the images folder here, and I want to create a new one. So mk and then dir, and let's say I want to create folder, new. So it's gonna create a new folder. I hit enter, and then when I do an ls, it's gonna show my new folder, folder new. And that folder is empty at the moment, of course. I want to show you now how to remove a file. So let's show all the files again, and let's say that I want to remove paper. Well, let's remove book. So I'm gonna do rm book HTML, and then hit enter, and when I do an ls, book is not there anymore. And let's say that I want to remove everything in the images folder. So let's clear everything and do an ls and images folder. So my images folder has some images, of course. So ls, and then I want to see what is in the images folder. Okay, so these are the images that I have there. I want to remove all of that. If I do remove images, it's not going to remove it's not going to remove anything, because images is a directory, and you need to use something different to be able to remove a directory. So what we are gonna do is this: remove -r and then images. And in this case, it's going to remove the images folder. If you look over here, it's not there anymore. The rm and the -r means that it's going to recursively go through that folder and erase all the files in there. And then finally, we are going to do a clear again. And one little trick, if you want to, for instance, you want to do an ls in the diamond.html, and you don't want to type everything, you just type d, and then you just hit tab, and it's gonna show the whole thing. You don't have to type anything. So you just do ls d tab, and it's gonna show everything. You don't have to type. So it's pretty easy. I hope this is helpful for you. See you next time.